So let's get into the story.
Last summer, I met somebody via Craigslist. And for those of you guys out there that may be afraid to meet people on Craigslist, let me tell you that, for all the people I met off Craigslist, I really never met anyone that was fucking crazy as fuck. Like, honestly. Like, and that's saying something, considering I do meet people off of OkCupid, and I cannot say the same. At this time of my life, I was making a very large amount of money, and I was able to kind of have certain things in my possession that made me feel like I was some sort of, like, not a pimp per se, but I felt like a baller shot caller. And I would have people come through and we would just smoke and chill. And it was cool because it was like, there was no pressure considering I already had my own shit, because a lot of times I think, stoner girls will understand where I'm coming from with this. But, you'll meet somebody and y'all will have plans to smoke, and for some strange reason, it might get misconstrued that while you are being smoked out for free does not mean that you're trading your pussy. When I met this person off Craigslist, they came through and they had their own trees, and it was real cool because, we got along super well. Me and this person, like, we really hit it off. And I think it was more so the fact that, you meet somebody sometimes and it kind of forces you to kind of be like the best or like the sweetest version of yourself. The person inside of you that maybe presents themselves when you're at an interview, or maybe they present themselves around your parents, but it's kind of like, just the person that will speak for you. It's kind of like the lawyer version of yourself. And the main reason for this representative in this situation is, I don't want a boyfriend, but I don't necessarily want a guy who I'm seeing to know that I don't want a boyfriend, because who knows, I don't feel like that's a bad thing. I feel like it's not bad to just want to enjoy something for the fun that it is. The whole time we were hanging out, I could tell that he was catching feelings. Like, I could feel it, despite the fact that I was, repeatedly telling him that I was just here to have fun. I could tell that he was catching feelings. And at one point in time, like, we were just cuddling, and he looks at me and he's like, next you're gonna tell me that you have a boyfriend or something. And while at the time I did have my on and off again thing, it wasn't something that I'm trying to disclose to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You feel me? It's like, I'm just chilling with you, partner. You feel me? And I think that sucks because it's like, a lot of times women get labeled and we get put into a box, and we get told that, we're needy, and that, we don't really know how to have male friends and all this stuff, or even have friends with benefits, because it's purported that people who are femme are super emotional and needy and, like, secretive and lying and always scheming to get you in a relationship, and that's just not who I am. I'm just a very upfront person. Sorry, I'm at the sweating. Just a very upfront person about, what I want or expect from a person that I'm having a relationship with, any kind of relationship. And, so in regards to this person, I was mad real with him. In regards to this person, I was mad honest. Here's the wildest part. This person had some good ass dick. Probably the giantest penis I've ever seen in my entire life. Like Hagrid's ancestors, plus dinosaur, plus Mondo Burger, plus giant dick. Just a wonderful, wonderful penis. As I'm enjoying the penis, I'm kind of figuring out that this person is, like, really interested in me, and I know for a fact that it does not go beyond the penis. Get into, like, a week of this, homeboy is, like, chilling with me every day, homeboy's giving me a ride to work, all this stuff is going down, and, I feel like I'm kind of taking advantage. And so I kind of take a step back from him, and I'm just like, I kind of really need to spend more time with my peoples. We're getting kind of, close, and, he was like, all right then, well, I'm not even from here, and it's true, he was from out of town, he was just visiting, but, I'm not trying to say that the pussy's so good and make a nigga want to extend his trip. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm trying to say that, we got caught up, and so he ended up staying a little bit longer than he wanted to, and then I was like, girl, you need to take your ass home. And then he was like, all right, you right. I was doing my thug thizzle for a long time, and then he hits me up out of nowhere, like, weeks later. And, like, when you get some good dick, you be like, you remember it. You remember the good penis. You remember the experiences. He gives me a call and he's like, you know, I'm gonna be in town. I would like to see you tonight. And I was like, all right. And in my mind, you know, in F Beezy code, that means we about to fuck tonight. F Beezy don't call you. Your F Beezy from like a 3-hour drive away don't call you hours before they arrive into town to tell you that they want to hang out with you, and you ain't gonna think it's gonna be time to smack it, you know, smash it and bang. You know, you didn't see my leg work. It's really good, and you know, I'm gonna start dancing again for you guys on camera. But anyways, this person tells me that they're coming into town to see me, so you know, I'm hyped. And he tells me this before I go to work. So, you know, I'm putting on my little crew outfit because, you know, I'm not going to be able to hang out with him until I get off of work. So I'm just like, I'll break them. We're going to set up the day. Looking too fine. Like, for real, I'm having flashbacks of grandeur right now because I was looking so delicious. I had my little ASOS dress on and shit, and I was just walking by looking like syrup and shit. And a lot of people was lusting after my flesh. But I knew that I was going to save myself for the giant penis in the evening. When you have a good FBZ, it's like, you know, you get hyped because you know you're going to see him. You be like, yo, we about to do that thing. We about to do that thing. And, like, that's what I love about FBZ is because, like, the emotional attachment doesn't get into it. So I got to think, like, oh, man, maybe this person is having a real terrible ass day. Because if that was the case, he wouldn't be coming to see me because we're FBZs. Right before I'm about to get off work, like an hour before I get off work, he gives me a call. And he's like, you know, I'm going to come by with my friend. And I'll see you like an hour later than he said. And I was like, all right then. And I wasn't tripping because I'm like, the dick is that good. You could change plans on me. You could change the plans up. The dick gonna still be there. In retrospect, I should have tripped because it's like, this is my FBZ. Why are you bringing somebody extra to the fucking, to the spot? Like, not even to the spot, to the job. Because we about to go out. Like, well, what is happening? But I really wasn't bugging out at the time. I was just like, all right, well, I hope they're cool. You know, that's what I was just hoping in my mind. I'm like, I hope it's just a cool person. He showed up with his friend, and right away his friend is giving me fucked up vibes. Like, his friend is giving me fucking Hungry Wolf vibes. Like, his friend was, as soon as he came in, now keep in mind, I'm looking like a fucking pack of Rolos and shit, alright, bitch? I'm coming up looking like a pack of motherfucking Rolos filled with caramel on the ass, like a melted pack of Rolos, kinda, like half melted Rolos. So homie gonna come in and come see me and give me a hug and everything, and I see his homeboy come out to give me a hug, and like, no, see, I don't be hugging strangers. If we ever meet on the street, if we ever meet on the beat, I'm gonna hit you up with a dap, bitch, because a dap means no germs, a dap means no concealed weapons, okay, unless you got a grenade in your hand. I feel like I'll be able to see that though. So he goes in for the hug, I go in for the handshake. I'm sitting here like this, and he could just crush my hand. He just crushed my hand with his body, and he was like one of them tall, thin people, so like I felt all his abdomen and his exoskeleton just on my hand, and it really hurt. So I was like, oh my god. So, but I was still like trying to give him a hug. So like, he really, like, if I was a dog, he like crushed my paw. That might have been a vet visit, but you know, because I'm a human, I'm resilient. I'm able to kind of, you know, pull myself up. So I carried on, even though I was disgusted by this person, because like, he just gave me weird vibes. Like, I'm sorry to say this, but it's like, when I see my FBZ, like, he already ain't even like a nigga I will be with. You know what I mean? Like, he my FBZ. So it's like, I don't care about your little extra friend because I don't really care about you. Not in a mean way. It's not in a malicious way. It's not like I'm trying to say, oh, you could die and I don't care. I'm just saying that, like, my emotions towards you are very surface, very base level. So I'm not like really looking to invest in your friend. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even investing in you. But I'm really not trying to invest in your friend. This nigga was looking at me like I was a fucking Crunchwrap Supreme and shit. Like, he was all on me, bitch. And the dude that I was seeing, you know, he was really just acting like nothing was going on. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what he should have done. You know what I mean? Be like, hey, bro. But it's like, his friend was just blatantly, like, in my titty crack. And I was just like, all right then. So, that's where you live in. That's where you at. Okay. We ended up going to this bar that was hella close to my workplace. Half Moon, bitch. Yes. If you ever go to New Orleans, go to Half Moon. It's a little bullshit place, but they got some good-ass cheap drinks, $3 drinks, and, like, $8 sandwiches. And the shit is delicious. We hit up Half Moon, and they want to play pool. Now, you know, once again, in retrospect, you know, there's 3 people. So why the fuck you playing pool? I don't know. But they decided to play pool. I decided to just get drunk because, you know, I've been working all day. And, you know, I was anticipating some penis. So I'm like, you know what, let me just pump my jets, get my whistle wet, and just, you know, drink some whiskey gingers, get myself a hamburger, and relax. I'm in the bar, and it appears like I'm by myself because the dudes that I'm with are, like, fucking a pool table. I'm, you know, just walking around like, all right, what I do, kind of like a third wheel here, and just feeling like completely like just unwanted. I hate to say that, but I just felt that way. Like they were just in their own world, so it was kind of awkward because it's like, you know, it seemed like he came into town to visit his friend, and him hitting me up was like, I guess supposed to make me feel good, you know, that he thought of me and his good friend that he never sees and that he wanted to see us. But I didn't take it that way because once again, he's my F Beezy. So, you know, all of his actions are very puzzling to me. I decided to order myself a hamburger, and because I'm a nice person, I ordered him one too because, you know, I figured, you know, maybe if I buy him some food, he'll sit with me and we could kind of like figure out this plan, like what's supposed to be happening up in the future with his penis inside of me. So when the food comes, you know, I go over to get it and I walk past the table and I'm like, hey, I'm going to go sit down with the food. And he's like, okay. And he totally ignores me and continues to play his pool, and I'm by myself eating this hamburger. And like, no tea, it's kind of a sad sight because here I am sitting with 2 fucking hamburgers and I am one bitch. Even though, I mean, fuck it, who's the most ballin' bitch? You got 2 hamburgers, bitch, what up? I just wanted to like not be sitting by myself and eating hamburgers. So I felt kind of stupid because it's like, damn, you know, I thought my F Beezy was calling me to like F Beezy. I started eating this hamburger and I'm getting angry as I eat. And like, I just get to a point where I'm like, all right, well, clearly I'm not getting no dick tonight. He comes over, like, after they're done playing pool, I'm, like, at the end of my hamburger. And, of course, like, you know when you get to the end of the hamburger, you know how like, it's, like, one piece of the bun is hella big and one piece of the bun is hella small, so it looks hella weird in your hand. And it's, like, all this shit on your hand. Yeah, that's where I was at when they decided to come over to hang out with me. And his friend actually sat behind me, like, hella close. Like, bitch, like, if I had a hunchback, this thing would be on my hump. Cause it's like I said, I was at a long table. So think of it kind of like some Hogwarts type shit. Like I'm sitting here, this random dude sitting next to me, and then the dude that I actually like is sitting on the end of the table just looking across at me, and it's just like, dude, why is your friend here? Like, why is your friend right here though? Like, why is your friend next to me like he is my friend? That is very weird to me. So then he looks at the hamburger and he's like, thank you so much. And I was like, no problem. And I'm clearly in an annoyed mood. You know, like when I get upset, it's very obvious. It's written all over my face, especially when I try to act like I'm not really that mad. So, you know, he could tell that I'm kind of disappointed, but he's like really not bringing it up. And so his friend says, you know, I'll drop both of you guys off at her house and then I'll pick you up tomorrow to bring you to your car. Because he had parked his car like near his friend. And the dude that I'm supposed to, giant penis, I should just keep calling him giant penis from here on. He's like, no, dude, I don't want to do that. Your house isn't really in a great location. I don't want to leave my car there. I don't feel safe with my car there overnight. So I was annoyed, naturally. So I pick up my phone and I start calling a cab. His friend's like, oh, well, I'll give you a ride home. And I'm like, no. And they give me this look like, why not? And I said, ew. And I went outside and I waited for my fucking cab after I was stopped at the bar and got 2 more drinks. Because, you know, bitch, I was fucked up from that shit, to be honest with you, because it's like, I don't really do the F Beezy thing too often, but this person, it's like they had a personality that was tolerable and their penis was giant. So there was that. He called me like the next day and he's just like, you know, I really didn't like how we ended things yesterday and I really think that, you know, we need to talk. And it's like, no, dude, like we don't. Like as an F Beezy, this bullshit right here, like if you were my boyfriend, we would have been beefing, point blank. Like we would have had words. Like it wouldn't have ended as normally as it did. But because you're my F Beezy, it's like, well, you know, I gotta charge it to the game. You know what I mean? I gotta roll on, bitch. I gotta move the fuck on, bitch. I can't be stuck on you, hoe. And what's more is, you know, I'm telling him that it's fucked up of him to not sit with me when the food came. And he's like, that's such a controlling nature you have. You have the need to control other people's actions. I was going out with my friend and my friend was there. You didn't buy food for my friend. How would it have looked if I would have eaten that food in front of him? Bitch, your friend is a grown man. How do you feel about it? Do you feel like it was a controlling thing for me to say, you know, come eat this hamburger with me, you know, pause your pool game? You know, maybe that's unrealistic of me to have wanted them to just stop playing to go come eat with me, but it felt awkward. I don't know. It was whatever. It just didn't matter to me. It was just like, I was just sad because I didn't get any dick. Like, I think that's just really what it was. I was just like, really? You know? Really? You know? I was like, really? Really?